Welcome back, everybody. Today's video is a little different. I'm going to be doing a full face of Anastasia Beverly Hills, and then at the end, after I've put everything on, I'm going to kind of talk about each product, tell you what I like and dislike about them. So it's going to be kind of a hit or miss full face of ABH products. That's what we're calling her today. So if that's something you're interested in and want to see how I got to this, then keep on watching and we'll get started. We're going to go ahead and get started. You guys will hear Jacob in the background. But the first ABH product we are going to use today is going to be the foundation, of course. I'm pretty sure there's no ABH primer as of yet. So I did just go in with what I normally go in, and that was the Bobbi Brown Perfecting Pore Skin Smoothing Pore Perfecting Primer. I can't believe I remembered that. But that's what I have on. So the next product we're going to use is the Luminous Foundation, and this is in the shade 220N. So we're going to pump this on, and I've been doing my foundation a little different. I've been going in with a stippling brush to apply, and I think it's the 180. It's worn off. Mom. Yes, Jake. Okay, so like I said, it's in 220N. So what I'm going to do is just pump it on the back of my hand. And I'm going to take a flat foundation brush, apply it to my skin, and then I'm going to go in with the stippling brush. I don't know what it is, I just think, like, I love trying new ways of putting that foundation on, and I'm really feeling this stippling action. Next we're going to do contour. Now, there's no concealer yet from ABH. They do have the cream contour palette that has like a highlighting shade in it. However, I don't have that palette anymore. I decluttered it last year, I think it was. But I do have a contour stick that we can at least try and contour with. So I'm going to go in with the Shadow Stick Foundation. It's a Shadow Stick Foundation in the shade Contour. I'm not going to bring this up on my forehead because I'm just going to use the bronzer for that. I'm just putting this contour shade in my contour area, on my cheek and a little on the chin. So it's a very subtle, nothing too crazy. I do have a darker shade in this. I think it's in, I'm not sure what shade it's in, but I do have a darker one. It's a lot warmer, darker shade that I like to use when I'm tan. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to put some concealer on real quick, and then we're going to go in with powder. But since I don't have an ABH concealer, I'm going to go in with the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Light Concealer. Like, it just blends so well, but it gives you that glow. Not really much of a like high coverage, about a light to medium coverage, I would say. But you can build it up a little bit. Next we're going to go in with the ABH Loose Setting Powder. I do have mine in the shade Vanilla. I'm just going to use a brush and sweep this under the eyes and wherever we put the concealer at. But I'm also as well going to take it on a large fluffy brush and set the whole face. I like to go in and use the powder where I concealed first. It's because I like to go in with a smaller, more precise brush, of course, and then a larger brush. Oh my goodness. Then I just use the larger brush basically just to sweep any product that's left over in my lid on my face. Now before we start on the bronzer, I'm going to do my brows first. That's just my preference, and I am going to be going in with the ABH Dark Brown Powder Duo, and of course the ABH number 12 brush. And then after I pretty much line and fill in a little bit with the powder, I'm going to go in with the brow gel, and this one is in Granite. So there's one brow done. What I'm gonna do is just clean it up a little bit with some concealer, and then I'll come back and we will continue on our full face of ABH. So now that our brows are done, cleaned up a little bit, they look alright, I'm gonna go in with bronzer, and I'm gonna go in with the ABH bronzer in Rosewood. Ooh, there she is. This is what she looks like. A contour brush, that's what it says. It's a Real Techniques brush. And I'm gonna tap her in there and then tap it off. I'm gonna start on my cheeks and go upwards. So basically where we put the cream contour is just where I'm just warming it up. Bronzers, I reached for this baby a lot when I first got her, and I've noticed that since my skin's been drier, she hasn't been what I've been reaching for. But you know, for today's videos, we're just gonna do a full face, and then I'm gonna talk about the products, kind of what I like, kind of what I did it, almost like a hit and misses type thing. So my camera died, you guys. Well, it didn't die. I had to clear up some space. So I'm not sure exactly where I left off or what I was saying, but I'm pleased with the bronzer. I added the Rosewood bronzer. It's looking good. So the next step, I would usually do blush, but I want to see kind of where my eye look's gonna go. So that means we're going into eyes next. And since it was just recently released, I'm gonna go in with the Amrezy palette, ABH and Amrezy. I'm pretty sure, I think that's how you say it. I've heard some people say Amrezy, so I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna go in with this baby right here. I do have all the other ABH palettes, except the Jackie Aina one and the Alyssa Edwards. Other than that, I have all the other ABH palettes. But I'm going to go in with this baby like I said. So I'm just going to tell you what shade I'm using. I'm going to zoom you in a little bit, and we're going to do our eyes. I don't think I'm going to do anything too crazy. I always say that, but we'll just see where it goes. To start off with, I'm going to go in with the ABH eye primer. This is just one of the smaller Try Me sizes. I kind of feel some ways about the primer, but we'll get into that at the end of the video, but I'm going to go ahead and just use it for today's purposes. Alright, so the primer's on both eyes. Kind of took a little bit to get it all in there, but I do know some of you guys like to set your eyeshadow or your primer. Some of you guys don't. My preference is to set my eyeshadow before I go in. I just find it more difficult to blend when it's just tacky like this. That's not my cup of tea. So I'm going to use the same ABH powder that we used to set our face. I'm just going to take a large brush, fluffy blending brush, powder brush, and just lightly set that. So now what I'm going to do is take the shader, the shadow brush from It Cosmetics, and the shade Nuyaka, and I'm going to place it on my lid and a little bit in the crease. Now that we look really crazy, what I'm going to do is take a more precise blending brush and then just blend around the edges up here. Softer, not so harsh. Okay, so to blend it a little bit more, I'm going to go in with the lighter shade OG, just a little bit lighter. I'm going to use that same brush, and I'm basically just going to go in the crease right here. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is take the same shade that I used on the lid, and I'm just going to run it under here. Let's go in with the shade Anastasia, and I'm just going to place that. I'm going to see how it looks in the middle of my eye. I'm going to add the shade Wasted, in my inner corner. Alright you guys, so I'm going to finish my eyes off, and go figure, I just seen that she released a new mascara. So I do not have that mascara, nor do I have any of her false lashes, which aren't too recent. I just haven't been drawn to them, therefore I haven't purchased any. So what I'm going to do is just add some mascara and some just natural, probably some natural wispy lashes, and I'll be right back and we'll finish the rest of our blush and lipstick to complete this little ABH face. Hey guys, I added my lashes, I just added some wispies and a little bit of mascara. I'm hoping to try that new ABH mascara here soon, but like I said, I just literally seen the post that she released a new mascara. So the next thing we're going to go in with is blush. Now I have 2 ABH blushes plus, no, that's it, right? Yeah, I don't have any of her like the 4-pack of blushes. I don't have any of those. I just have these 2 trios, and I have them in the shade Pink Passion and Peachy Love. So I'll show you each one. We'll kind of decide. This is Pink Passion. Super pretty. And usually when I wear these, I'll go in with like the darker shade right here and focus it on the outside, and then go in with the lighter shade towards the inside or the inner of my cheek. This is what Peachy Love looks like. This is one of my favorites. This one does have more of like a shimmer to it. So I'm not sure which one to use. Let's see. I think the peachy one is more of today's vibes, even though I really like the pink and the dark mauve. Decisions. We're gonna do the peach one. We'll do Peachy Love. There is some kickback to it. And I'm just gonna start back here and go forward. Right above our contour. And I do like to bring my blush a little bit up towards this way. These big old hoops, they're nice, ain't they? Go in with that shade right here. And then add to it. So the next thing that we're gonna do next to finish off our full face of ABH is going to be lips. Now, she doesn't have any lip liners. Pretty positive that she doesn't. So we're just gonna go for our liquid lipstick and or gloss. I think I have a couple of her glosses, and I have quite a bit of her lipsticks. So let me go grab a couple, maybe a few, and kind of show you guys what I have, and then we can figure out what we want to put on our lips. Based on what our makeup is looking like, I did grab a few. For liquid lipsticks, I grabbed the shades Milkshake, Ashton, and Sand. So these 3 right here. Milkshake, Ashton's in the middle, and Sand on the bottom. These 3 babies. Don't know about that. And then for a gloss, the only gloss I have, well, I do have like a bright red one, which we're not going to do that, but I have the Amber lip gloss, which is really pretty, and we might go with this. We might go with her. But lipstick wise, in a bullet, I do have this collection right here, and this is the shade Coconut, which is my favorite out of the 4 that I have. You can tell she is well loved. So I'm not sure. Well, maybe Coconut. And then the other 2 bullets I grabbed are in the shade Buff. which is this one right here, which is like more of a pink mauve, I would say. And then we have the shade Spice, which is another one of my favorites from her as well. So I think for today, I think what I want to do is go in with coconut, add a little bit of milkshake to the middle of that, and then the amber gloss. Sounds like a lot, but I think this is going to be the trio. So I'm not going to line, I'm just going to try and use this coconut to line as best as possible. So let's do that. So for not having liner, we don't look too bad. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of milkshake to the middle of my lips. So to go ahead and complete our look, before I add gloss to my lips, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to do, I'm going to go in with highlighter. Now, she did recently re-release the Nicole Guerriero highlighting kit, which I still have mine. You can see right here, she's been used, not as used as much as I would like, because to be honest, this was sitting at the bottom of my highlighting drawer because it is bigger, and I kind of forgot about her. But she's been all the rave again since she's being re-released. So this is what we're going to go in with, and I'm going to go in with the shade, let's see, I think I'm going to go in with Forever Young, this baby right here. I don't like that much because you guys know I do have texture on my cheeks, so we're just going to go right here on the nose. Super pretty. On the tip, I do have the Amrezy highlighter as well. She is just as beautiful. But for today, we're gonna just use Nicole, because you all know I got all that shit on my cheeks. Let's go ahead and finish off our lips. Unfortunately, I do not have the Dewy Mist setting spray, and to be honest, I normally don't use a setting spray unless I use a more matte foundation, and then I'll usually go in with a Morphe spray. So no spray, we're just going to go ahead and add the gloss, and I'm going to go in with the Amber lip gloss, and we're going to see, maybe I won't. I don't think so. I don't think we're going to add gloss. We're going to leave the lips how they are. This is how the Amber gloss is. I should have maybe just applied this by itself. I did not realize how pigmented it was. I thought it was more of a sheer glowy lip. So we're just going to leave the lips how they are. Yeah. Let's go ahead and talk about some of her products. My faves, some of the ones that I'm kind of, I can do without. So to start off with, I'm kind of just going to go in the order of how I did my makeup. Foundation. Oops. You guys know I'm a big fan of this Luminous foundation. It works great for my dry skin. It photographs beautifully, and it is a little bit pricey. It's not, you know, definitely not a drugstore foundation, but I do love her, and she looks good. So no issues with this. Love it. Could deal without the big foundation on the back of it, but that's cool. Nobody sees it. I'm good with that. Not the concealer, but the contour stick. I like this. Sometimes I do have a problem with when I put it on, it kind of takes off my foundation a little bit. So that's why I do like to go in with a stippling brush with it. But sometimes even with that, it can move my foundation. It's just a really, really creamy texture and consistency. I mean, I do use her though, but not all the time. Let's go ahead and talk about the brow product. The Brow Duo I love. You guys, this is my third one, I believe. I'm about to hit pan here soon. As you can see, it's indented. I normally don't use this except for when I'm filling in and trying to give like that ombre effect. Usually when I line my brows, I stick to the darker side. Now, I love the clear brow gel by her, but I do not have it. I'm out. I am at the moment for clear brow gel using the Benefit brow gel. and the Gimme Brow. Now, the tinted brow. Let's talk about this. I do not like this at all. The spoolie is just crazy big, you guys. And I get that the fact that you're supposed to like sweep your brow hairs, but when you don't have a lot like me, you can easily get like that stroke above your brow and you have to clean it up. It's not something that I can just go in with and be done, compared to the Gimme Brow by Benefit, which is a lot smaller, and I can just use that product alone and be done with my brows, like if I'm in a rush or whatnot. But this baby right here, I hardly use her. In fact, my mom gave me this because I had ran out of my Gimme Brow before I got another one in. So yeah, I can definitely live without this. I don't see many people using her tinted brow gel. I see a lot of people using the clear, but not the tinted. So this is a no for me. I normally do not use this. I did just use it for purposes of today's video. Next we'll talk about the vanilla powder. Love it. I have been using her since I got her. When I do run out, I would like to try the other shade. I can't think of it off the top of my head. I think not the translucent one, but there's another shade that's kind of towards lighter skin. I can't think of it off of my head, at the top of my head. Oh my goodness, you guys. But I love this powder. It gives a soft focus effect. It doesn't accentuate my pores. As you guys can see, I look pretty smooth and flawless. As much flawliness as I can look, this powder provides. So I do recommend this powder, you guys. It is a little bit pricier. Like I said, Anastasia is a higher end makeup brand, so you're gonna get more expensive products, but that work better. Next are the blushes and bronzers. I love her blushes. I wasn't a big fan of the 4-pack of blushes that she came out with, but these blush trios, they hit the spot every time. This peachy one is my favorite out of the two that I have. The other one is the Pink Passion trio. I do use her sometimes, but if I had a choice between the two, I would definitely go with the peachy one. Now, the bronzer, I have a love-hate relationship with. The shade, I just feel like doesn't look like what it in the pan. This looks like a warm toned bronzer to me, but when I put it on, you can barely see it. But I mean, you know, it's darker than my skin tone. I just feel that sometimes it's not dark enough, especially for a bronzer. I did use it today for purposes more of contouring, but bronzer wise, I really don't reach for this. I reach for it more when I'm kind of a contour, when I'm using it to contour, I mean. But I definitely do reach for it more when I am more oily. Sometimes I feel it can accentuate some dry spots on my skin, but I do like it overall. So yeah, the bronzers, it's alright. To continue, we will go with the Amrezy palette. Now, overall, I love Anastasia's eyeshadow formulas. They are probably on my top 5, you know, next to MAC. Melt Cosmetics has beautiful eyeshadows, you guys, and they blend so well. But that's for another day. The Amrezy palette, bomb.com. Next to the Modern Renaissance, this is one of my favorites. It probably would be Modern Renaissance, then this one, and then Soft Glam is also in my top 5 of her palettes. But yeah, I highly recommend you guys try her shadows. She does have single shadows as well, and they're not too expensive, so if it's something that you want to try before you go and purchase, you know, a $40 palette, I would suggest trying her single shadows. We're almost done, you guys. I think I've talked about pretty much everything except for we have lips last and the highlighting kits. Lipsticks, love them, you guys. Her formulas are one of the ones that stay on my lips the longest without cracking. I can eat and still have her matte lipsticks on. That goes for the bullets and her like more, what would you call these? More creamier lipsticks, I guess. because this set it says matte, but they are definitely, you can see that it kind of has a sheen on it even after I put the matte milkshake lipstick on as well. So I do recommend her lipsticks. Her bullets you can find all the time at TJ Maxx. The set I actually found at TJ Maxx as well, and they do have some of her liquid lipsticks. So if you guys don't want to pay, my god you guys, if you guys don't want to pay full price, you can always go to TJ Maxx or Marshall's and find her stuff discounted. My previous video I did was a shop with me at TJ Maxx, and they had tons of her stuff there, so you guys can always go there and find her makeup discounted. Now the glow kits, I do have the moon, not the moon one, what is it, oh crap, let me go grab it real quick. What I was thinking about was the Aurora glow kit, and this baby I actually found at TJ Maxx as well. I did not pay full price for her, but as you can tell, this one is my favorite shade. So pretty. It's such a gorgeous highlighting palette. Now with the hype back up for the Nicole Guerriero glow kit, I'm going to be using this baby more often. Look how beautiful she is. I kind of just forgot about her, to be honest. You know, sometimes it's hard to keep up with makeup that you've previously purchased when there's so much more coming out. But anyway, I think that's it. I talked about every product. Basically the only one I could live without pretty much is, oh crap. Basically the only products I could really live without and, you know, not really miss is the shadow contour stick and the tinted brow gel. Other than that, all the other ABH products I pretty much am in love with. I think that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this type of video. I know I didn't have the mascara or the eyelashes to try, but everything else was ABH, and to be honest, you know, that mascara just came out, so yeah. If I had to pick a favorite product from her, it would probably be her eyeshadow palette. Well, between her I can't pick. The eyeshadow palettes, her foundation, the powder, I love it all. I hope you guys enjoyed this type of video where I wear the products and then I kind of talk about which ones I like and which ones I'm not feeling. So if you did like the video, please make sure to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you aren't, and of course I will see you guys in my next video.